All right, hi there. I'm just going to try and make another video here. And the theme of this video is thinking about doing for people who love to run. And I love to run, but I do find that when I run a lot, that sometimes I end up with certain parts of my body that gets a little bit sore. And I definitely find that going through a series of poses helps me feel better when I do that. So we'll do some stretching and then a little bit of muscle activation, just getting the muscles really connecting. We're going through the exercises, sometimes people use a yoga block, but not everybody has a yoga block at home. So I also have a stool that I might use over here, and I have a scarf for, again, some of the exercises that I might demonstrate, but you could use, again, if you had a yoga, but again, another one has one, so a belt would work. You just don't want your, whatever it is, to be very stretchy. You just want it to be able to kind of hold your leg in place when we get there. So when we're going, nothing should be sore or achy. You want to feel good as you're going to going along, and you want to feel like you're connecting your body and using your breath. That's the biggest difference between what we're going to do now as opposed to just going through and doing some stretches after your regular run. So I also have a blanket here, but again, you could just use your stool if you're particularly tight, or sit nice and flat on the floor. And we're just going to sit on a blanket or the floor or your stool, and we're going to just take some nice deep breaths. Start to slow the heart rate down as you breathe in through your nose and out. And as you're breathing feel the air and out. In through the mouth, through the windpipe, and filling up all the lungs. In and out. And as you breathe in, maybe you can feel the expand as your lungs expand. And as you exhale, you can feel your belly draw in and out. And as we stretch, we're going to try to keep our breath nice and long and steady, even breaths. And we're going to come onto our knees. In this position, you want your hands underneath your shoulders, and you want your knees underneath your hips. Inhale, lift, gaze, drop your belly down. And then exhale, round through your back. Inhale, up. Exhale, round through the back. And from here, just stretch back your right foot. Stretch in your calf. Inhale, come forward on your hands. Exhale, lean back and get a good stretch there. And you can kind of a little bit if you want, or you can just keep a little bit more constant pressure on that right foot. Nice, slow, deep breath. If your wrists are giving you problems here, you can try a couple of things. You can, we're going to switch to the other side, but so stretch your left leg back. You can come down on your forearms as well and stretching here. And again, you can rock a little bit and a nice stretch on that calf. Good. I'm just going to make support out of the way. And I'm going to tuck my toes underneath, lift up through my belly, and come up into what I call a dog. From here you can see your feet. You want them hip width apart. Hands are open and grounded to the floor. Be generous when you first come here with your knees being bent so that your hips can reach high to the sky. You want your back to feel more flat and rounded. It's quite a bit of for your upper body as your shoulders are wrapping around. In, breathe in and out. And in and out. In and out. Good. here, I want you to bring your left leg forward and drop your knee down. Untuck the toes. Lean up. Have your hips facing forward. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, lean in to that front leg. And as you do so, you can take a peek at your leg, and you want to see that your knee is stacked on top of your ankle. You want to feel my hands are on my hips, and that gives me a good sense as if my hips are pointing. In and exhale, see if you can come a little deeper. If your knee is sore, you can use your blanket under your back. Inhale, exhale. And from here, we'll take one more inhale. So you're going to get a little deeper into the stretch. And then sit back. You're going to pull your hips back. And we're going to come into a stretch for the back here, your hamstring. Some people, you may want to use your block here. You feel like it'll help you get the ground up a little higher. You can use your fingers in front of you, but find your length of your back and let yourself come over your front leg. And a nice, sweet stretch in the back here. If you feel like it's really strong, you can have a small bend in your front leg as well. And as we're here, try to bring your breath all the way into the back of the hamstring. Inhale, find length through the spine. Exhale, let yourself come deeper into the stretch. One more breath. From here, we're going to bring our back leg around so we're facing the mat. We're going to sideways here. From here, again, you could use your stool and have your stool over here. Put your hand on your stool or your yoga block and reach up and over, stretching it with the side body here. Pushing into the side of the foot. You know, in the camera, you can't really see what my foot is there. And I find the stool is a little high, so I can come down a bit more and get a good stretch there. Pushing and grounding into the side foot there. Breathing into that left rib. Opening up. Giving lots of space in that truck. Good. And now we're going to just bring your hand onto your hips so you can feel your pelvis. We're just going to do a little exercise for the outer here. Lift the leg up and down. Up, down. Up, down. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. We'll come up out of this position. We're going to lean, slide the hand down the leg, and just open up through that body here. Back here. And bring the stool back around your yoga block because we'll need that when we come to the other side. And then we're going to lean forward again. But we are in our lunge. Try to let your hip, your knee fall open. So I'm just going to switch my view here so you can see your knees open in. So you get a little bit more of a stretch to some of the rotational muscles in that hip. And you may want your block, your stool, support yourself if you feel like you're really tight through there. As you're breathing in, arms are strong, shoulders are down, chest open. And try to breathe into that hip. Good. All right. From here, hands back on the mat, swing the leg around, lifting One plank pose down, and now we're going to bring the right leg forward. Again, hands to your hips, low lunge. Inhale, broaden through the collarbones. Exhale, lean forward. Again, peek at that front leg. Is the knee stacked over the ankle? You can always adjust your stance. You move wider if you need to, in terms of this way, and also lengthwise if this is too much of a stretch. You can bring your feet closer together, or if you're more flexible as you've been stretching, you can actually widen your stance a little bit here as well. Engage through the groin muscles, those muscles that into the stretch. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. Let it go. And then we're going to pull back into our hamstring stretch just for the right side. And again, I look at myself and it's kind of rounded through here. So we're going to stop, lift up to the chest, find the length in the spine as you kind of tilt through your pelvis. And then exhale, soften. Inhale, find length, draw that right hip back, and exhale, sink a little deeper, soften into the stretch. Inhale, find length, exhale, let it go. Last breath, lots of length, and just again, soften. Okay, so again, we're going to come a little taller, and you're going to swing your back leg, your left leg in, and then your leg is going to be straight. I'm just going to switch myself around in front of the camera, but this is how you're going to be aligned. So if you're on your leg and you're grounding the outside of your right leg, the side of the foot, reach up and over, breathing into that right lung. In and out. Draw, see if you can put pressure, draw energy up the side foot there. That right foot is active. The arm, the upper arm is rolling inwards, almost like your thumb is coming up towards the ceiling. And then bring it to your hip. You can drop a little bit deeper onto your block and your support there, or you can again just be on the floor. And we're just going to do our leg raises. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Good. And we're going to come back up, reach up and over, stretching up that side again. And then come on back. And then we're again coming this way, again with the right knee drawing outwards. And as you, again, hands are supporting your body, because even though your knee is dropping outwards, you're not putting a lot of pressure on that right leg. You're supporting your upper body with your hand and your back leg. Just sinking deep into that right hip. One more breath. Beautiful. I'm just going to switch again back this side. So, from that position, we're here. Bring the leg back. One plank, nice and strong. 2 deep breaths. Drawing the belly in. Drop the knees. Lower slow onto your belly. From here, we're going to use our upper back with our hands by our ribs. We're going to just lift our body up. We're not pushing in with our hands. You almost can have your hands in your fingers, spider, nice and light, or your hands can be floating. Lift up, engage with your upper back, pushing down with your feet and lower down. And just reminding the back muscles, the glutes to engage and down. From here, slide your hands forward so that your elbows are underneath your shoulders and come to rest. If you cannot reach your foot, you can always use your scarf and wrap it around your foot, and your other hand is underneath you. You're going to draw your foot in here. And if this is enough, this is a great place to be. Your knee is in contact with the ground. Your pubic bone is in contact with the ground. You're not twisted. You can release your stretch a little bit more. But if you want a bit more, you can bring your forearm across your body and push up until we call it a half frog. Just to give yourself a little bit more stretch to your body, which is the muscle on the front part of your leg. Breathe in deeply. As we shine through the chest, collarbones are wide. Good, and let's slowly lower the chest down. Release the feet, the foot, and then we'll switch it back to the side. Grab, loop it around. You can roll onto your side if you need to. Your right arm tucking in beside you, hand across. Pull the leg in for your quadricep stretch first. Okay, you'll stay here if this is enough. I'm pushing up, engaging. Broad through the glutes, breathe through the quadricep. It might feel hard to breathe here. Take your time, breathe deeply into the belly. And then again, slowly release your upper body down. Release the leg, let go of the scarf. We're going to push into our hands through our knees. One time, sit back, stretch open the back. Deep breath through the back body. Coming forward, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up high again. One downward dog. From here, we're just going to actually walk our hands back. Nice low stretch. Again, think about softening through the knees, light down, reaching the pelvis up to the sky. Upper back and low spine is relaxed. And rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Taking the time up to get there. Roll the shoulders. We'll just do a little check in with our balance. Take one moment, lifting up the toe to the left foot, and slowly putting them down, finding right, and bring your right foot onto your left leg. Squeeze in through the glute and the adductors, the inside thigh muscle on the left foot. See how you're wobbling. Feel your connection with the earth as you're breathing. Come back, feet nice and round, and give your left leg a little shake, and then bring it to the inner part of your right foot. And again, find your balance point. Squeeze through the glutes. Draw the belly, draw the low belly in. If it's not fine, you can always just come back to it. If you're tired, we did a lot of hills, maybe balance is something that's not for you. It's always a process. Find your gaze, and then connect with your breath. Good. Back to standing on two even. Roll the shoulders back. One breath in, and then slowly again, we're going to roll back right down. Halfway, lift up, and walk your heels out sideways. And we're going to drop our thumbs down to the ground. And if you are not comfortable all the way low, you can again sit on your stool and kind of beneath your tailbone. Just easy, easy. Maybe that's enough for your hips. Lifting up, spread apart through your chest. Breathe deep down into the belly. I'm going to scoot down a little bit further. You can hear my knees cracking. Good. And then hands behind you. Walk the feet of your right foot, cross it over. Draw your belly in and find space in your body. So we're not holding our shoulders. And you can adjust where this left foot is as well. You know, if you're tighter, slide it forward. If you're more, you have it right up there. Big breath in. And then maybe you want to roll your left leg outwards a little bit. And just see how that changes the stretch for you. See how it changes in your hip. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Breathe out. If your wrist, I have my wrist pointing inwards, but again, if your wrists are bothering you, it could be sideways or even pointing up. You don't want to give yourself any sort of aches or pains as you're stretching. Everything should be comfortable. Bring your leg back to the middle, or switch your feet. So bring the left leg on top of it. Most people will find that one hip is more tight than the other, and that's normal. Broaden through the collarbones. Lift the chest up. And then slowly let that right leg tip forward. Get that deeper stretch into that left hip. Almost done here. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to either bring our yoga block and we're going to bring our legs up high. You can also just put your legs up on the wall. Again, if you had your blanket around, you can put your blanket underneath your hips. Or sometimes you can just put your hands under there. And just support your pelvis and let your legs be above you. Let all of that good effort that you've done, let it all come back to the heart. And as we're here, try to let the breath soften a little bit. See if you can lengthen your inhales and your exhales just a little bit. This actually is usually quite restoring. And if you have time today, you can always come back and maybe even pause the video here and stay here for a couple of minutes. But we're going to keep on moving. We're going to bring the knees into give your legs a good squeeze. And then send them long into our final resting pose, the Shavasana. So from here, legs out so that are wider than hip width, a good comfortable distance. Hands are away from the body, palms up to the ceiling. If you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes and really just focus on your breath. What allowed you to do all the things you've done today? You couldn't do anything with it. So just breathe slowly and deeply. If your mind wanders, come back to the breath. And remember, a little bit by time, a little bit at a time. And then I'm going to invite you to just start to wiggle your toes, rub your fingers together, roll your shoulders, even move your feet and have your hips windshield wiper a little bit in and out, go side to side. Whatever's comfortable for you today. Bring your knees in, rock a little bit side to side, and then taking your time, roll onto your side and come into a seated position. Sitting up as tall as you can. Take a moment, thank you to yourself for going through the practice. And I thank you for going through and doing this with me as well. I really appreciate your time. We bring our hands to the same